dragon. The Accuser. We read about the serpent in the beginning. We don't read about Satan. We don't read about the devil. We read about the serpent. In Revelation 12, we pick up the final stages of Satan, the serpent, and it sets the course of the next period where he becomes the roaring lion. Revelation 12 verse 1, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and upon her head the crown of 12 stars. And she being with child, travailing with birth, pain to be delivered, and there appeared another wonder in heaven. Behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. These are rulers. If you read the book of Daniel, these 10 horns are the 10 kings, and the 7 heads are the 7 rulers, and they are explained in Luke 3. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven. Here we have to really stop and think. When was this? It was when the woman was clothed with the sun, and she was bringing forth a man-child, which was Israel, producing the child that was prepared, which was a shadow of the good things to come. This dragon has got a third of the stars. Israel was supposed to be the stars of heaven, and they became the sand of the sea. That's why Revelation 13 says he stands on the sand of the sea, and out of the sea, the peoples of Gentiles comes 4 animals, which is now 1 animal. You have to read Daniel 2, Daniel 7, Revelation 13, Revelation 17 all together. It's the progression of the beast. And here the timing is the fullness of time when God manifested in the flesh. His tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them unto the earth. They became the sand of the sea. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was already to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. We all know the story. Satan tried to kill this seed, and Jesus fled to Egypt. But God says, I call my son out of Egypt. This was all foreshadowed by Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who all went to Egypt. Now Jesus had to come out of Egypt, which is the world. Babylon represents the systems of the world, the god of money. She brought forth a man-child who was to rule the nations with a rod of iron. Rod of iron, iron is Rome. The whole book of Revelation took place in the time of Rome. Rome is no more. And a child was caught up unto God and unto his throne. And he is seated at the right hand of the Father, waiting till all the enemies are under his feet. The final enemy is death. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all die, but we shall all be changed. And the woman fled into the wilderness. Israel made their promised land a wilderness. This is why John the Baptist came baptizing in the wilderness, eating locusts and honey. They said they couldn't take their promised land in the beginning because they were locusts, bitter and sweet. Jesus, taste and see, he's sweet as honey. And God prepared a place for her. 1,203 score days, 3.5 years. 3.5 years after Christ, it was still okay, till Stephen was stoned. And then came the terrible time of tribulation. In Acts 14, he says, the kingdom can only be entered through tribulation. Jesus and John preached the gospel of the kingdom, but they didn't receive them. On the Mount of Transfiguration, everything changed. Jesus came down and he said, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. From this point, everything changed, and he set his face like a flint. And the kingdom could only come through death and resurrection, but has to be entered through tribulation. The time of removal, because the rulers of the temple now sat in Moses' seat, never accepted the sacrifice. And there was war in heaven. And Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found in heaven no more. And a great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, which called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of the brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, for the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. The serpent, the devil, and Satan is one person. He was the accuser that came amongst the sons of God in the book of Job. Job is a story of humanity. And God said to him, okay, go drive, Job. But you will see, Job will not curse me. Man will come out at the end, and God's purposes will prosper. And the latter time of Job was double what his beginning was. The best is yet to come. In Revelation 12, the accuser of the brethren is cast down. Woe unto the earth. These woes were prophesied by Isaiah. Isaiah 5 says, Woe, woe unto you, woe unto you. And then Jesus picks it up in Matthew 23 and he says, Woe unto the scribes and the Pharisees. And they became the wicked generation. They were the rulers of the temple, but they went all against the purposes of God because they took it in their own hands. They worshiped the system and killed the Christ. Revelation 12 is a great turning point because from where this accuser was cast out, everything changed on the earth and he became the roaring lion in the time of tribulation, trying to kill the seed. In Revelation, we see the Son of Man returning on the clouds of heaven, and those in white horses riding with him. We are not those that riding with the white horses, because he said he came and those that pierced him saw him. He came as the Son of Man. He's now sitting at the right hand of the Father, waiting for the sons to manifest, and he will return as the victorious Lord of glory. And when we see him, we shall be like him. The returning of the Son of Man was with distress and calamity and darkness. We cannot mix these times. We have to understand the times and the seasons. In Revelation 12, it was the end of a period and a beginning of another period. Cycles, time cycles. This cycle that ended in Revelation 12 started in Daniel 12, where God revealed to Daniel what was going to happen in the last days of the law world. Hebrews 1 says, now in these last days, God speaks to us by the Son. There's a difference between last days and last day. We cannot mix these times. When we mix times, we mix realms, and we cannot possess the kingdom, because the kingdom is a realm that functions in darkness. Two realms functioning in the same space of time. We need to understand what time and what realm we are functioning in. Isaiah says, seek out the book and find its mates. Let's get it. Revelation 12. And at the end of time, Michael shall stand up. What time is he talking about? He's not talking about the end of all time. He's dealing with the end of the sacrificial system that would stop because they became an abomination. He calls it the desolations of the abomination. And it started in Daniel 9, clearly describing this final prophecies. And here he says, at the end of this time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of the people. And there shall be a time of trouble, as there never was since there was a nation, even to that time. And at the time thy people shall be delivered, everyone shall be found written in the book. Revelation, the books were opened. The book was written within and on the back. The book was not written to the front. The kingdom is not revealed. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting contempt. And they that are wise shall shine as brightness in the firmament, and they shall turn many to righteousness, and the stars forever and ever. But thou, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. In Revelation 5, heaven and earth, everyone is crying, who will open the book? Who will break the seals? And then the Lion out of the tribe of Judah came. And as he took the book, he became the Lamb because he died. So the war was between the Lion of Babylon and the Lion of Judah. The white horse was the first seal, but Jesus became the victorious rider in the white horse. The greatest king, Babylon, was called King of Kings, small letters, but Jesus, the rider on the white horse, is the King of Kings with big letters, and he is the ultimate victorious rider. In Revelation 20, it says, it is done. He dealt with Satan, and he abolished death, but we are still in the realm of death. If you can hear what the Spirit says, the dealing with Satan and the path that he walked is clearly set out. Don't miss the next chapter, because we have to deal with Revelation 20, the most difficult chapter in Revelation.